Hi my lovely Frosty fam, it's your girl Karen Frost here at Nail Decadence with another video for you. I hope you enjoy it. In this video I'll be using these following products. So I'm using some Ink London colours and some of my own acrylic mixes. Well, actually it's only one colour that I mixed myself. I will leave in the cards a video to how I make my own acrylic colours for you if anyone's interested. And you've got some glitter chameleon triangle things and some silver leaf and some different types of glitter. So this is like chameleon glitter from Smiley's glitter store. They're kind of got like a green and orange hue to them, if that makes sense. That's the colour tones it switches to. And this random glitter mix, I think I got it off AliExpress, to be honest. Yeah, it's just so random. It doesn't even have a label on it, so yeah. And another random glitter mix. Yeah, no idea where I got that one from. I've had it for a really long time. Then Nao clear acrylic, of course. And I'm using the high speed monomer. And for the Ink London colours I've got the Ink London monomer and my SBD London oval size 12 brush I shall be using to apply these products. Oh, I forgot, I've also got black. Again, this is one that I mixed myself. So yeah, on to what we're doing. So I'm going to be doing some colour blocking in this set. So first of all I am going to use that red colour and do my colour block with that to begin with. Well, the first colour of the colour block. So take a bead and apply it by the cuticle area, get that nice and neat first, and then I'll bring the rest of the bead down into the colour block shape I am requiring, which is a diagonal. I do this quite often with my colour blocking, a diagonal. It just kind of, it's flattering on the nail more than a straight across line. It's more flattering, it kind of elongates the nail when it's on a diagonal rather than straight across. I'm not saying I've never done straight across colour blocks, because of course I have, and I'm sure I will do again, but just so you know, when it's on a diagonal it is somewhat more flattering and slenderizing to the nail visually, you know. I hope I'm making sense. Sometimes I speak and I wonder if you guys even know what the heck it is I'm trying to say, because I know what I'm trying to say, but you guys are not in my head. You don't want to be in my head, it's a really strange place. But yeah, anyway, moving on. On the index finger I am using the red colour again. I'm doing a full nail of that colour so that it's kind of like my background, and I'm going to add some of that glitter mix. The oh, which one was it? It wasn't the one with the black, it was the random AliExpress one mix. Anyway, yeah, little glitter swoosh up and across to the tip of the nail from the cuticle area kind of vibe. I love these glitters, they just, the way they hit the light and shine different tones is just amazing. They're so beautiful, really lovely. So I'm using some very tiny beads of clear acrylic to apply the glitter on with. And as you saw there, I added a bit more clear acrylic and just used my damp brush to pick up some more of the glitter pieces and add them on. Now I'm adding on some of the silver leaf, and I'm going to just push those into, well, if it will stay on the nail. stay there. Yeah, sort of squeeze it into the acrylic, the wet acrylic. Push it down and get it as flat, you know, because Silverleaf is really thin, so you can get it really flat. So just pat it down and brush it down, get it nice and as flat as you can. So onto the little finger, I'm making a right mess. Clean that off. Yeah, applying that bead right by the cuticle area. This is that. Ooh, it's like a. It's weird because on camera it looks really blue, but in real life it's more green. And I'm not sure how to get my camera to show that colour correctly. And so yeah, it's showing much more blue, but it's not. It's more of a teal green than this bluey colour that you can see. So yeah, just bear that in mind. In real life it's definitely more on the green side. Anyway, full nail of that colour. That was the Ink London one. Forgotten the name already. Yeah, Dory Brain strikes again. We literally just went through those colours at the beginning of the video and I've forgotten already. But anywho, so whilst that is still wet, I will just use my damp brush to pick up some glitter and tap that into that wet acrylic. Again, I'm going in with that Chameleon glitter mix, not the black one yet, I don't think. So it's basically the same as what I did on the index finger. I'm just doing with a different colour on the little finger. So in with the Silverleaf as well. Again, pat those nice and flat. I'm just using a bit of acrylic to stick them on because they weren't sticking. There we go. I'll leave that to set up while I move on to the ring finger. So going in with the black acrylic, and I'm trying to be careful around that cuticle area, try and get it nice and neat. Apply that bead and then bring the rest of it down. Black is so messy. So just making sure that cuticle area is nice and neat, because you will notice if it's not, especially with black. You will definitely notice. So full nail of the black. I'm just making sure it's opaque at the tip there. I'm not building any strength these colours, I'm just using a very thin layer to just get the colour on. And on top of that I am applying that green glitter mix, the green and black one, and I'm just applying that over the entire nail. And now I'm applying some of the Chameleon flaky things just on top of that, and it all just, oh, it just, if you could see this in real life, it's just, oh, Chameleon glitter is just so fascinating. Look at that colour shift. You can sort of see it in the video as I move it around when it hits the light. The colour shift is just so gorgeous. And being on the black background, it really sets it off. So I am not holding back with this glitter. I think I'm adding all of them on this one nail. Yeah, I am. I'm adding all of those glitter mixes on this one nail. And some of the Silverleaf pieces as well. I just thought, let's put it all on. It's so gorgeous. Let's shove as much glitter into this nail as possible. So I did. So whilst that is setting up, I will cap the little finger and the ring finger. So first with the little finger, fairly large bead, apply that by the cuticle area, tap 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 around the cuticle, get it nice and neat, and then bring the rest of the bead down. Add a little bit more by the cuticle area to make sure I've got my apex in the back third, and make sure all of that glitter is covered properly. You'll know it's covered when the glitter goes matte. If it hasn't gone matte and it's still shiny, you have not capped it. And if you don't cap it, you'll file it away. And like I said, you do want to build your strength with your clear acrylic layer that you're capping with. Make sure you've got the right structure of the nail there. Back to the ring finger, I'm going to cap that as well. A fairly large bead by the cuticle area, tap that down, tap tap tap, get that nice and neat, and then bring the rest of the bead down, leaving some of it behind to give us a decent apex. And if there isn't enough, add a little bit more. If I notice any of that glitter shining, that's when you'll see I'll add a bit more acrylic. Just make sure they are totally encased and safe behind the wall of the acrylic. Just capping that free edge, making sure it's all nice and neat, swiping those sides, trying to keep the shape. Don't want to lose it too much. There's a bit of a dip in the nail, so you'll see I'll add another bead of acrylic in the middle there. You do want a nice shape to the nails. We don't want there to be a big dip in the middle. That would not look very nice, and it would be structurally unsound and therefore prone to breaking, and we don't want that. Yes, it's not a real hand, but that's not the point. Technically I could do these videos and not bother putting strength into the nails, not worrying about the structure, but yeah, no, I don't want to do that. That bead that I just put on and removed was too dry, hence I removed it. Don't try and fight with a bead that's useless. Just get it off and pick up another one. Not worth trying to fight with a dry bead. No. So yeah, scrape that off and add on a fresher bead that was the right consistency. With practice, the newbies I'm talking to here, with practice you'll know your ratios. It takes practice for you to know when a bead is too wet and when a bead is too dry, and when a bead is, your Goldilocks just right. It's all about the practice. You won't know until you try, and each brand of acrylic works slightly different, They don't all work exactly the same. Some are wetter, some are drier, and again, that comes with practice. You'll know which requires more liquid and which requires less liquid as you get to know your products and get to know how to use them correctly. So I would just make sure this nail is all nice and capped, and when that is done I will go back to that middle finger with the colour block. I'm just going to cover up my glitters and my monomers with a bit of kitchen roll because I don't want this nail dust getting in there. So using my hand file, I am pushing against the wall and just filing it nice and straight so that I get a nice crisp line. I'm trying not to press down on the nail plate itself. I'm trying to only push against the wall. Inevitably it will push a little bit on the nail plate, but as long as you've got your clear layer there, it shouldn't be a problem. The last thing you want to do is be cutting into people's nail plates. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Obviously you can also do it with a craft knife whilst the acrylic is setting up, but I decided to file this in for some reason. I didn't fancy using my craft knife. Not half the time I forget I own one, like I forget I own a e-file, but you know me, dory brain, whatever. So I used a very thin line of the silver acrylic, which was the one from London, and then I'm just going to cap that in clear because I just wanted a thin stripe of the silver. I just missed a little bit by the cuticle area of the red, so I'm just adding that in at the same time. I'll let that set up and then file it in, and again I've covered all of my bits and bobs so that the nail dust does not get into my powders or my monomer. Excuse me, or my kitchen roll that I am wiping my brush on. We don't want dust in any of those things, so do make sure you cover up your bits. So remove that cover now and onto the next colour, which is black. So again, I'm going to be building a wall, but I'm going to build the wall with clear because this layer is going to have glitter on it, so it's a thinner layer of black than I did with the red, just to allow me space to put that glitter in and cap it. And I always cap everything anyway, but you know what I mean. You want to keep especially when you're adding other things, keep it especially thin. So I'm using those triangle Chameleon glitter pieces, and I'm just placing those on sort of back to back, as it were. There's a bit of a piece of fluff there that I was trying to get rid of. I'm just putting them in a pattern, sort of repeating pattern, so point to point and back to back, if that makes sense. Just push them into that wet acrylic to hold them in place. There, so fiddly. I'm just using the ferrule of my brush there just to try and push it in, get it to stick, and they don't want to stick, so I'm just using this tiny amount of clear acrylic, and that will hold them in place whilst I cap them. So just make sure we've got enough of a wall built up with the clear, because we will be filing this in to reveal the sharp lines that we hopefully get. So try and keep it neat, but you know, don't worry about it too much because you can file it in like what I'm doing. So yeah, I let it set up again and then start filing that wall. So it's a fair amount of filing and repeating, which is quite tedious, but you know, you get there eventually, and it's a really nice effect. Love colour blocking. So just dampen that nail down a little bit, in with that silver glittery London acrylic powder. Get that into a nice thinnish line, and then I will cap it with the clear acrylic again. And it doesn't matter if it goes over previous colour, because like I said, we'll be filing them in to reveal the lines once we have finished. I get that nice and neat, and then I'll be filing it as again once it has set enough for me to do so. But try and make it as neat as I can with my brush anyway. So here we go, it's set up enough, and as you can see I've covered my stuff over again. Just file that in. Doesn't need too much filing. Just sharpen it up a little bit. So once I've finished, I will dust it off, and then we'll go in with the last bit. Yay! So dampen it down with a bit of monomer, going in with that teal colour, which is really annoying that it's looking so blue, but it's more green. Really frustrating. I don't know, because the camera picks up certain colours fine, and then other ones it just doesn't do them justice. I don't know, very strange. So So yeah, butting that right up against my wall and then doing a thin layer on the rest of the tip, making sure it's nice and opaque. There we go. And then we will cap it. So once this has set up, I will file the nails. I have left the filing in of just this one nail to sort of show the reveal of the lines kind of thing, but the other nails I don't show those because you've seen those loads of times before on my other videos. And yeah, what with this nail being filed in and then filled in with acrylic and then filed in and then filled in with acrylic and then with the reveal filing, I thought no, not leaving any other filing in. So as you can see, it has set up and I'm using my e-file. Actually remembered I had it instead of going straight in with a hand file this time. Look at me. Anyway, yeah, I'm just using a medium, it's a medium bit on my e-file and just revealing those lines. You can see how thin that stripe of silver is now. It's not a very thick stripe at all, just sort of giving that black a little bit of an outline and tying in with the silver leaf on the other nails. That was my thinking behind it anyway. Just tidying up the nail as a whole, trying to get my shape back. And you can see this nail's really quite flat, so it does need capping at the back third to sort of give it some strength, because I didn't put my apex in there yet because I needed to file in the colours first. So yeah, adding my apex in the back third now, and then I will file the nails off camera, and then we will get onto the top coating and all of that good stuff, you know, gems and pretty bits. I'm capping that whole nail, which I probably didn't need to do really, but I wanted to make sure it was the right thickness. I don't want it to look sort of thinner than the other nails, you know. Wanted it to be structurally sound the way it should be. Blend those beads into one another so that there's no, you know, you can't tell where one bead ends and the other one starts. And just looking from the side, making sure my apex is high enough, and if not, add a little bit more. Yummy. If there's a bit missing, I will add it in. I'm very fussy. There we go, looking good from the side now. So I have filed off camera, so now it's time to add some lovely crystals, and I'm using the SVD London Diamond Gel pen, and it is non-tacky, which is really cool, so it doesn't have a sticky layer at all. I'm just using the brush instead of the nib this time, because I'm doing a line of crystals along the line of the silver acrylic that I did on the colour block. So I've got these Chameleon crystals, and so I'm just going to be using those. Straight, well, it's not straight, it's a diagonal line of those. Just sort of sets off that chameleon theme. I think it does anyway. You may disagree, but I think it sets off the chameleon theme. That ring finger, oh, when I top coat it, wow, oh my goodness, the depth of all those glitters I shoved in it, oh wow, you'll see in a minute. Right, quick make sure I have lined them all up nicely before I cure that. Well, I'll flash cure it. Make sure they're all straight, not covering too much of my silver. There we go, flash cure that for 10 seconds. And now it's time to top it off and keep it tough. Oh yeah. So top coat all of the nails now, and this is the wonderful bit where you just, everything just comes into its own, and that glitter, wow, so nice. Look at that. Oh, how beautiful. I had to do a slow-mo, I just had to. Look at that colour shift, it's amazing. I'm so easily, what's the word, easily entertained. That glitter, oh, it's just gorgeous. So anyway, we're at the end of the video, so I will love you and leave you. I have left obviously some footage at the very end of the video, like I always do, and some photos. So if you have enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe and turn on your notification bell, and if you feel like it, leave me a comment. I'm happy to talk. So that's all I've got for this video, peeps. So you take care now, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.
The way you walk, the way you talk.